Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Dani Farmayola. I will present the thesis proposal, chapter 1 and chapter 2. The title is The Effect Partner Reading Strategy to Student Reading Skill at SMP 4 Ampet Nagari. Okay, chapter 1, Introduction. Background of the problem. Reading is one of the important skills in learning language besides listening, speaking, and writing. This skill needs to be mastered because it is very important for language learners. The student needs to know of reading skill because this is right to understand scientific books that they read and to get information from other printed materials such as novels, magazines, newspaper, and brochure. In reading, students get about new information and add their knowledge from the text. Reading skill is expected to help students to increase their desire to read and to improve their vocabulary. Besides that, it can also improve your pronunciation and your writing skill will also increase. From some of the benefits, we know that in skill reading we will get more vocabulary, making it easier for use in writing and easier for us to get information. And the next, identification of the problem. Based on the background description of the above problems, first, students are less interested in reading. Second, during learning, students sometimes listen and write more than they read book. Third, sometimes students are not serious in their learning process, resulting in students often getting bored while in class. Therefore, teachers are required to use more attractive learning methods for students so that students are interested in reading. Okay, limitation of the problem. Based on the identification of the problem above, the effect partner reading strategy to student reading skill at junior high school. In this study, researchers only focused on the reading ability of students in junior high schools because reading ability is very important to increase student reading interest. Okay, the formulation of the problem. The formulation of the problem is how to use of method the effect partner reading strategy to student reading skill affect student reading interest. Okay, the next is hypothesis. Number 1, does using method the effect partner reading strategy to student reading skill affect student reading interest at SMP and 4 of Ampet Nagari? Number 2, how well is the student improvement using reading skill method in the effect reading strategy to student reading skill at SMP 4 Ampet Nagari? Okay, next is purpose of the research. Purpose of the researcher in this research is wants to analyze the students about using method the effect partner reading strategy to student reading skills. Okay, the last is significance of the research. Researchers have the result of this study can provide benefits for students, English teachers, researchers, and readers. Okay, for students, the result of this study can help students improve their reading skills using the partner reading strategies method. For English teacher can use the partner reading strategy method as a technique in the reading learning process to motivate students and make their teaching and learning process easier and more enjoyable. For researchers can also be a starting point for developing learning methods applied in school. Okay, and the last readers will benefit from having knowledge of techniques that can be used for simple and fun reading. Okay, and the last definition of key terms. Number one, reading skill is expected to help students increase their desire to read and improve their vocabulary. Number two, analysis is analysis is a study to analyze the improvement of student abilities using the partner reading strategy technique in mastering student vocabulary in class. Number three, ability is an increase in student abilities by using the partner reading strategy technique in mastering vocabulary in the classroom. Number four, the partner reading strategy technique is a technique to make it easier for students to read. Okay, the next chapter 2, review of related literature. Okay, definition of reading. Reading is decoding and understanding written text. Decoding requires translating the symbols of writing system, including Braille, into the spoken words they represent. Understanding is determined by the purpose for reading, the context, the nature of the text, and the reader's strategies and knowledge. Okay. According Seng 2000, mentioned that reading is a process of communication from the writer to the reader, involving the recognition of letters, words, clauses, and a process of negotiation between the reader and the writer. According to Pauline, reading is the process of getting meaning from prints. It is not a passive, receptive activity, but required the reader to be active and thinking. Okay, number 2, teaching reading. Reading is a complex cognitive process of decoding symbols in order to construct or derive meaning. Reading is a means of language acquisition, communication, and of sharing information and ideas. The purpose of reading also determines the appropriate approach to reading comprehension. A person who needs to know whether she can afford to eat at a particular restaurant needs to comprehend the precise information provided on the menu, but doesn't need to recognize the name of every appetizer listed. Okay, the next is partner reading strategy. Okay, definition of partner reading strategy. Partner reading is another fun and effective pedagogical strategy for promoting the development of reading fluency. It is designed to increase the amount of time children spend reading aloud in the classroom while providing the support many struggling readers need to successfully negotiate text. Okay, according to Brown, 2005, the children who partner read 2 to 3 times per week for 12 weeks showed an average 29% increase in reading rate on a standardized test of oral reading fluency. Although their comprehension and reading accuracy were not affected in a positive manner. Okay. Okay, the next, number 2, procedure a partner reading strategy. According to Lisbeth, 1979, there are several recommendations on how you can organize, implement, and manage partner readings in classroom. Okay, A. Provide adequate instruction of the basic partner reading script. B. Practice what it means to be a good partner. C. Practice and model partner reading behaviors. D. Allow children to choose their own partners. A. Teachers need to monitor partner reading. Okay. However, while the children partner read, you should walk around the room listening to their read, helping parents that are stuck on an unknown word, redirecting choose who are off text, or modeling expressive reading when needed. Okay. The next, review of the relative findings. Okay, in support the truth of this research. Research comes from Ria Isnaini. Okay, and the next, review of the related findings. Okay, in support the truth of this research comes from Ria Isnaini, 2019, with research entitled on the effect of partner reading strategy towards student reading comprehension at Ahmad Dahlan Islamic Junior High School, Jambi City academic year 2018 until 2019. The purpose of this study to find out effect of using partner reading strategy towards reading achievement in descriptive text of the student at Ahmad Dahlan Islamic Junior High School, Jambi City. Okay, therefore, the purpose of this study is formulated as follows. Number 1 is to know the differences scores of student reading achievement by using partner reading strategy before and after treatment. Number two, to know the score of student reading achievement higher in post-test experimental class and post-test control class. Okay, the next material is conceptual framework. Okay, the researchers made the conceptual frameworks as follows. Teaching reading, experimental group, reading strategy, result, and findings. Okay, from conceptual framework above, it can be shown that in this research, the researchers choose two classes to get the data, one class for experiment class and another class for control class. The data was about how the student ability and understanding with reading strategy. The data was about how the student ability and understanding with reading strategy. The researchers also gave the students practice the language directly related about that. After that, the researchers got the results about the student ability and understanding reading skill. Okay, everyone. I think enough for me. Sorry for my mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.